So I guess we're gonna go ahead and start this. I didn't. I don't know. I've been thinking about what to say, and I'm still not sure. I've been reading a lot of the comments and poems and songs that y'all have been sending in and that have been coming in from near and far, and I've made some attempts at putting some of my own feelings into words that I'm just haven't been able to yet. So I know that y'all will be able to fill that space for you. So we're just gonna start with some poetry and fight from Tom and Christina.
William Blake had two types of poetry, the songs of innocence and the ones we're experiencing today, the songs of experience. There's no more powerful emotion than grief, and we are all in a state of shock because we are also in a state of love. Miss Boye is sitting with us right now, hearing every word we sing. And actually, there's a few illusions that people just vaporize away and then forgotten. As long as you remember, they are alive for you. And their aliveness is what we are celebrating today. Not the manner of their passing, it was too sudden, too quick, but it was the actual life force that Miss Boye had that put her in the pantheon of people, performers, and poets such as these, because the proper place of poets is amongst poetry, where their creative powers can praise all peace and beauty, where their very lives can be role models for harmonies and productivities, where every word is an onion, a flower, a feast, a buffet, a smorgasbord of truths, all mixed with spices and served to dancers like you, artists and writers and singers as soundtrack. As Victor Jara sang in the football stadiums in Chile, with Pablo Neruda banished to Isla Negra, as Federico Garcia Lorca sang against the Spanish fascists, as Woody Guthrie empowered Bob Dylan's Ballads of a Thin Man, as Banksy's visual poetry stains the walls of Gaza, New York, and Bristol, as Miss Boye will be remembered for her cultural collaborations and activism. For the proper place of poets is amongst the people, like Ho Chi Minh, poet, Mao Zedong, poet, President Carter, poet, Walt Whitman, poet, Carl Sandburg, poet, Gary Schneider, poet, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, poet, Naomi Shihab Nye, Palestinian poet, Raymond Carver, Dorothy Parker, Shel Silverstein, Jane Kenyon, Sidney Lanier, Joseph Brodsky, Charles Bukowski, Emily Dickinson, Maggie Estes, Sherman Alexie, John Chiardi, Robert Bly, Russell Banks, Stephen Duns, Richard Brodigan, Wendell Berry, Andre Chodescu, Marge Piercy, Philip Levine, Rachel Lindsay, Andre Lord, Sharon Owles, Mary Oliver, William Stafford, Adrian Rich, Clarissa Pincola Estes, Hedwig Gorski, Ann Sexton, Ted Jones, Carl Shapiro, Muriel Rochester, Maxine Cumin, Coleman Barks, and our Miss Boye. You see, you don't get to be immortal by dying for a cause, rather as she did, for living for a reason. Ask any poet their reason for creating 9 billion sunflowers beaming. Certain souls, they kiss the light in every lover's eye. You recognize them by the passion which propels them as they try to light the night, to break the ice, to make the real worth dreaming about. Take Billie Holiday, Edith Piaf, Mao Rani, Bessie Smith, Janis Joplin. All fought against the odds. They won and they lost, their pockets picked by managers and conned by men. Till they sang as if in a gas chamber. They gave their lives to stop the danger. On the front line of civilization, you could see them, brave Olympians with their flame burning. But if you met them backstage, after hours, before nostalgia coated them, you would have been puzzled at their unremarkable natures. Step upon the stage today, release and sway today, watch how the world changes. There are certain souls who kiss the danger and tell every stranger the deepest secrets. They whisper and sing with brave exploring the pain of their loss and their failures. Upon release, every song, every poem becomes a prayer, a chant, an anthem. Upon release, every songbird of life is remembered as a lover and a gambler. because certain souls like Miss Boye, certain souls like Miss Boye, certain souls like Miss Boye must dance. And her, how you make me feel. Miss Boye, you're with us now. Miss Boye, you are sorely missed by all of us here. Your laughter, intelligence, wit, fashion sense, your understanding of what service really means. Every interaction with you was always positive. Was it because you were so adept at playwriting, poetry, performance? Was it your easy interaction with everyone you met? Gifted in radio, live performances, podcasts, every medium open to your Cockney humor, your joyous choices in life, that bow tie and vest, the amazing haircut, as if you stepped out from an English comedy. You brought out the best in everybody. You respected them. You boosted their potential and amplified their talents. Always humble, humane, and hearing. Always deeply listening. Our loss is not just the suddenness of your leaving us. It's a sure and certain knowledge that you are unique. No one person can hold your charisma, your happiness, your bright energies. It will take all of us from now on to itemize and inventory your amazing personalities. You affected all of us. Your energy sustained us and still do. When we think of you, it is as a ball of bright light, shining, smiling on us. Thank you for being in all our lives. Thank you for adding to our little lights so we might shine brighter, always knowing we will always be connected to you, the only original, unique Miss Boye. Yes, all of you. Thank you for being and remembering and loving. You have the right to love at all times. You have the right to give at all times. You have the right to be as you are at all times, and no government can take it from you at any time. You have the right to be like Miss Boye was, totally outrageous, anytime at all, 25 hours a day, 9 days a week. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I mean, we'll get you some.
Alhamdulillah, that.
As she would. Do you want people to know who you are? And we didn't take any sign ups, Chris, so we're just asking people to stand up. And so this is Sally, voice partner, and her sister Tracy.
All right, so we're gonna have some more blues fight from Christina, and then I think maybe we'll grab somebody from the Zoom. I'm like grabbing at you, but I don't know where the camera is.
I gotta sit down now. I didn't know Miss Boyd well, but what I did know of her, she was really phenomenal. I remember her smile, her hair, the bow tie, of course. I remember her from like the Zoom open mics. I remember her from the awards ceremony, and just being around. And her energy was, how would you describe her energy? Buoyant, very buoyant, and she deeply, deeply missed and always, always loved and remembered in everyone's hearts. And so this melody is for her. It's not rehearsed. It's just here from my heart as I think about everyone that knew her and loved her, and any way that they knew her, and as she is carried out into the spirit world where she is transformed now. For Miss Boyd.
Yeah. Mm. Put it there on that counter. And who did you want to invite?
First, I just want to say thank you so much, Christina. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
I feel like I've just been really like up here and hearing that really brought me into the room. um, Which is exactly where I be right now. So thank you, Christina. Before we go on, I had wanted to share something that another poet and frequent Lion and Pirate virtual attendee, Ed Poetastic Foreman, that he had asked that I share this with Miss Boye, which I had every intention of doing, and then time got away from me, and I did not.
It went fast.
Yeah. Yeah. You know that better than.
Yeah, it went fast.
Yeah. So I told Ed, you should read this to the moon, and she would probably get it. And I also want to share it with all of you. Pretend this is Eddie if y'all are familiar with him. He has a very distinct style. Dear whomever, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying the weather. I hope your mind is clear as a bell. If not, it will get better. If your life will set sail. If it's an argument, forgive him or her. I hope your sorrows go pale. I hope your days are less wetter. I hope your treasure wins and fails. I hope you know you're a go-getter. I hope you don't fall for doubtful spells. I hope you know life is a heavy hitter. I hope you can break out of your cell. I hope you know lessons taste so bitter. I hope you toss all of your regrets down a well. I hope you taste rain under warm shelter. I hope you become a hero than a rebel. I hope you wear your pants and failures as a sweater. I hope your todays and tomorrows aren't hell. I hope you learn and gain a lot from this letter. I hope you're happy and safe and not unwell. I hope you feel greater and lighter than any feather. I hope your heart expands and grows and swells. I hope your dreams are on a higher measure. You know this isn't a bitter goodbye, but a sweet farewell by Ed Poetastic. Love you very much. Thanks, Ed. All right.
I'll turn them on. You just tell me who you want.
Oh, okay. Birdman, are you ready?
Okay, so
Yes,
just
I
give me a
am.
second, Birdman.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna, where are you? There you are. Okay.
And here's Falcon Steve.
Yeah, so I'm going to spotlight Birdman. And we should be able to, you want to say something, Birdman?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, we can turn it. We can.
I do.
Okay. All righty. So go ahead, Birdman. And
Okay, I'm gonna read two poems. Miss Boye, it's her and I guess she enjoyed a lot of my poems with my videos. And when I heard the news, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It touched me a lot because she was a genuine person. She was real. She wasn't fake or anything. And that's what I liked about her. And I remember when she let me know that I was gonna be Artist of the Month in June. Her and I talked, and she said, "I really don't know much about you, just except from what you've done when we come on here." And then we got to talking, and she was like, "Wow," she said, "I never knew all them things. Like I was into music, always been into music and playing sports." And she says, just that little time that we had, because we ran out of time, and she said, "I've learned a lot about you." And she said, "I just think that you deserve to be honored." And it was an honor for me. In this first poem, I'm working on the video now, and I went to this park that I normally go to just to clear my mind, and it's titled "In Harmony with Nature." On a fine autumn afternoon, I stood by a water fountain in a park. The sky above was decked with clouds covering the blue sky. Squirrels were running around, burying nuts and scampering up and down the trees. I felt somewhat lost in this serene environment around the water fountain and pond. The fragrance of nature filled the air. I felt like dancing to the silent tunes of the gentle breeze. Standing here, I was immersed in the beauty of nature. The gushing water fountain sprays mist into the breeze. Pain and suffering is non-existence, as only the serenity of nature remains. The trees dance to the wind's soft songs. Nature is in complete harmony with this beautiful scenery. Losing track of time in this lovely scene of the carpet of green grass and trees in the background. Nature can be the source of life and light as it fills the soul with peace. May we all strive to live in harmony with nature. Oh man, got through that one. And my second one, I actually did the video, and the video is from Galveston, the Gulf of Mexico, and it's titled "A Journey of 1,000 Miles." When you look back on your life, you begin to realize the many miles that have been traveled. The journey was long and the road treacherous at times, but there was excitement in the air in the thousands of miles traveled. 1,000 miles begin with a single step forward. Even though there were many steps backwards on this journey, 1,000 miles was a goal to be reached. The path at times was a bit slippery and challenged with falls to be able to fulfill a beautiful morning at the end of the journey. You begin to wonder where you are going or even where you came from. Then you realize just how far you have come and how far you still have to travel. A journey filled with unknowns of what lies ahead on a path of uncertainty. There will be troubles, pains, ups, downs, good and bad, but the journey will be filled with memories. That much is for certain. And I'm quite sure Miss Boye, if she was here today, she would enjoy both of them. So
Thank you.
Thank you very
much. Alrighty.
Hold on, Tobin's gonna go.
Wait a second, let me just do one thing here, Tobin, before you get started. Spotlight. All right, there you go, my dear.
Okay, when you miss, oh wait, no, it's still, it's still,
No, I need to get rid of this thing, but it doesn't want to go away. There we go.
I mean, Boy, Miss Boy met, first met, I mistaken her last name to be Boyle, as in Charles Boyle,
Or TC.
and she corrected me a few times by finally got it. And during the time when we were as Pam performing, I noticed how she was acting in that as her portrayal of Peter Pan. It was emotional. And I took that as inspiration for my next play I did, was a firework when it exploded.
Mhm.
I had to show some emotion in that one as well because I thought it would be very useful.
Mhm.
Like the same emotion she used as Pam. Yeah. And I'm still shocked that she died. I really am shocked. Well, I don't cry often, so I didn't know for very long, but she's a good person. That's what I know for sure. Yeah. And she one time invited me to a podcast, but I declined because of my own personal things about my disabilities. Yeah. I should have taken that opportunity. Yeah. To tell people about how it affects me. Yeah.
Well,
That is all.
Thank you, Tobin.
It's not too late, Tobin.
You can always say yes the next time.
Right.
I would hope to do another acting one someday.
Yeah, absolutely.
To share with y'all some of the comments that I got, just from other folks who have participated in this open mic, who couldn't be here today. Casey Boatno is a writer who has been in our orbit for a long time. She's also in the UK. And when she heard the news, she said, "I'm so deeply sorry to hear this. Sending all of my love to you and the wider Succeeding community." So wanted to let y'all know that she was thinking of us. And then another poet who has been on several times, Frog Corpse is his name. Frog like the animal and corpse like the dead thing. He's great. He always had like really dreary, gothic, dramatic, wonderful poems that Miss Boye and I were always like, wow, right. And he said, "It is so unfortunate to receive this news. I'm very grateful for Miss Boye holding space to poet as a poet should. Miss Boye was always cordial and a decent human being in our interactions. I thank Miss Boye and the Lion and Pirate for their contribution to the literary arts and disabled communities that extend beyond Texas. Thank you both. Much respect." Okay. We have someone else from Zoom who is ready to perform. Looks like Crystal's got it.
Yeah, here I am.
All right, just a second, dear.
Okay,
One moment.
tell me when you're ready.
I will.
Coming. Oh, do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Come on in.
Come on in. Come on in. You are more than welcome. All righty. Okay, Crystal, it's all yours.
Okay, this is called A Letter to Miss Boye. Bye. Okay. My friend, I'm not filled with positive energy right now. I'm overwhelmingly negative. I do not want your journey home to be about my sadness. I know all this are basket cases right now. This just fucking sucks. I just want to be there for you in the way that you want me to be, in the way that you need to me, in the way that you need me to be. And honestly, I don't know how to be what you need or what you want. But I do know one thing. You're one badass minister, and you're saying, fuck this shit. I'm going home. You are beating cancer, even if it's not in the traditional sense. You've never been traditional anyway. You are beating cancer because you are surrounded by the love of your Sally and your crazy crew, which includes us. Thank you for being our friend, Miss Boye. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for being our standing stone. We carry your heart. We carry it in our hearts forever. May it be so. We love you, Crystal, in my deliciously weird mind. And one last part of it, here's the poem that she really liked. Let me be your silent stone, rest in my arms, safe from tribunal wrath. But alas, stones have not arms to comfort me. So useless to me. I am. That's it. That's it. The end.
Thank you, Crystal.
Could you understand me?
For the most part.
For
Yeah,
the
we
mo-
understood it
We
all.
understood.
We understood it all.
Okay, for the most part, that's good enough. That's good enough.
Thank you, Crystal.
Love you guys.
Love you,
Yeah.
Crystal.
You know,
Crystal,
fuck this
thank you.
shit.
Yeah, I feel like you articulated stuff that I wish I had been able to say. And I'm glad one of us could do it.
Yep.
Thank you. Next we're gonna hear from a long time lion and pirater, Sierra.
Oh, right. I gotta unmute her. No, I don't have to.
No, I'm
Yep, okay.
okay.
I really never sit down, but I'm gonna sit down. This is extremely hard for me because she had such a presence and she helped me so much during my tilt performance. That play hits so much differently now. Miss Boye, if you're not familiar with the play, she played a bird. And at the end, she transitioned. And the guy came out in a white suit. And I was like, where's A? Who was Miss Boye's character? She's no longer here. So it kind of hits differently now that I listen to that play. I just want to mention that. But I'm going to share one experience that I just adored from Miss Boye. I called her one day, it was during our performance for Strange Faces. And she was just so helpful. My brother had went through some transphobia at school. And I won't say too much because it's kind of triggering, but they bullied him very hard and they were very hard on him because he was transitioning. And they were very hard on my brother. And well, I called Miss Boye. Miss Boye was like, well, they're just, I'm using her language, they're bloody cowards, is what she said. There are just some bloody cowards out there. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. And she just gave me so many resources. And she told me, you know, what to expect. And she said that this world is not always kind, but that she was there for me and she helped me get through that bullying. It was very tough. So with that being said, I wanted to sing a song if I'm gonna try. Well, if I'm gonna try and sing the song, it's I realized that Sally and Miss Boye had this love that is so deeply connected. And Miss Boye had shared with me during this time of that people didn't always accept her when she transitioned to be butch. But she said, I'm butch, you know, this is what I identify as. And people aren't always kind to it. And they look at her funny. And so I came across this play called Funhouse. And Ring of Keys just reminds me so much of Miss Boye. So I not only want to dedicate this to Miss Boye, but I also want to dedicate this to you, Sally, because I know you probably were there beside her when it happened. Hopefully you guys can hear it from my phone. Trying my hardest here. Hopefully you guys can. It's a new phone, so hopefully it works. Someone just came in the door, like no one I ever saw before. I feel. Don't know where you came from. I wish I did. I feel so dumb. Your swagger and your bearing and just the right clothes you're wearing. You're short hair and your dungarees and your lace-up boots and your keys out, your ring of keys. Thought it was supposed to be wrong, but you seem okay with being strong. I want. You're so. It's probably conceited to say, but I think we're alike in a certain way. Your swagger and your bearing and just the right clothes you're wearing, your short hair and your dungarees and your lace-up boots and your keys out, your ring of keys. Do you feel my heart saying hi? In this whole luncheonette, am I the only one who sees you're beautiful? Wait, I mean, handsome. Your swagger and your bearing and just the right clothes you're wearing, your short hair and your dungarees and your lace-up boots and your keys out, your ring of keys. I know you. I know you. I know you. Thank you. Oh,
So I have to ask our folks online, are you able to hear the music okay?
Yeah.
Was it coming through good? Okay. great.
Yes.
Somebody was saying no. Eric.
Okay. Eric, you can't hear, was it bad for you, Eric? You're muted, dear.
Oh yeah, it comes in and out, but I can hear her voice well.
Okay, great, okay.
Yeah. Could
Yeah,
not
Alright.
hear the flute
I don't
earlier,
know
but
if we, that's what I was wondering, if we optimized our sound.
I could hear the
7.
voice, but not the accompaniment.
Yeah, well, it was on a phone, so that was probably why.
And
Okay. No.
back when the flute, I couldn't hear the flute at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
the flute did not come through.
Yeah, that's
I
why I was
You gotta
wondering.
click that button that says original music, that button at the top of the screen. Original sound for musicians, that little button. Yeah.
Well, do I have to go unable,
I don't know if it'll make a difference.
unable to start? I have to turn it off and then turn it back on again.
this is why we need Miss Boy here.
Well, I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
7.
Original sound for musicians.
7.
okay. Echo cancellation. Is that
Although
enough, or
Miss
should I
Boy
do
was
that?
Miss Boy was always very entertaining when the tech broke down also.
Right, exactly. Well, we'll see if this is better now.
you damn thing right now.
I can't though, that's the problem. Original sound is, it's okay. All right, now we're on. Sorry about that. We'll have to have more flute music.
Hey Laura, I'm ready when you are.
Okay.
Oh, now we have to, okay, Joanne, all righty.
Okay.
Wait a second.
Please hold. Please hold.
Okay.
No, Celia, you go ahead. I just
Yeah,
wanted
wait,
to
we
say-
need to spotlight you. All
I'm
right,
waiting.
all right.
Okay, I just first wanted to say, Sierra, holy shit. Often Miss Boy and I would be like, I cannot wait until we get into a physical space so we can actually hear you sing. And I'm glad we're all here. We got to hear that incredible, just completely perfect song. Thank you so much. Definitely reminded me of Miss Boy, especially with the short hair. Did I talk about the short hair?
And the ring of keys.
Totally, yeah.
I just said that's Miss Boy's song and I'm gonna sing that for her.
Good call. All right, Joanne,
Okay, I wish I were there in person with you. One of the things I remember so fondly about Miss Boye was about a year ago. I forget what we were talking about, but she wrote to me and she said, "We have a spare room. Anytime you want to come here to be here in person, you're welcome to stay." And I really regret not taking her up on it.
She's in
Um,
Florida.
but anyway, oh, and also Ring of Keys. When Fun Home the musical came out, that song jumped out at me. That song is so amazing. It's a little girl. If you don't know, it's a little girl who's sitting in a diner with her father, and this butch comes through the door, as described in the song, and the little girl has this shock of recognition, like that's who I am. It's just so amazing to hear like this. I think she's like a 10-year-old girl singing this song on Broadway. Anyway, I would like I would like to sing this song. It's an old song of mine, but it's one of my favorites. It's a song about longing to connect. And I send it up to Ms. Boye because I know wherever she is, she's in my heart. I connected with her that way. Hope you can hear this. Can you hear this?
It's all good.
Piano? Okay. This is called Wales. Oh, and by the way, this is my new piano. I have a real piano for the first time ever in my life.
Nice.
So
I thought it sounded a little different.
Yeah, it's a real piano. Here we go. I woke up this morning from a beautiful dream about California whales. They were rubbing like dolphins in the early morning ocean, rocking on their tails. On the side of the road were walls of stone and marble rainbow clay, and a icy design was a castle of mine, and that's where I wanted to stay. In the freezing air and cleansing light from that distant star, would you please try to find the place and then tell me where you are? Cheap at the cost, paradise lost, console me if you can. There's nothing at all is better by far than anything made by man. Oh yes, I'm amazed at all that we've changed since Neanderthal and his kind. Call it sour grapes, but help me escape back to the world in my mind, to the freezing air and cleansing light from that distant star. Won't you please try to find the place and then tell me where you are? to find the place and then tell me where you are. I woke up this morning from a beautiful dream about California whales. They were rocking like dolphins in the early morning ocean, rocking on their tails. On the side of the road were walls of stone and marble rainbow flame. If I only could find that beach again, I'd go back there today to the freezing air and cleansing light from that distant star. Won't you please try to find the place and then tell me where you are? Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna.
I got through it. Got through it.
Yep.
Well, I remember when we had to go online for during the pandemic, and Miss Boye we were co-hosting together at that point. And I feel like I remember Joanne the first time you came on, and we were like, "Whoa, she's so great!" Like we were so excited and just so thankful that you stuck around.
You all have meant so much to me during the pandemic and since. You all have just given me such a community. It has meant so much to me. It's amazing to me how I've never stood in a room with any of you, and yet I have such a complete, vivid, visceral feeling for all of you, you know, in my heart. I don't know how that can be. It must be like a phenomenon of our future world, but thank you.
That was so beautiful, Joanne.
Thank
This
you
is
so
Eric.
much.
7.
Eric,
Yeah,
Eric,
yeah,
thank
it's
you.
nice as always, Joanne. You know, I love your music.
I love you all. Thank you.
Do we have anyone in the room that would like to go next? Can I go next? Please go next. Please go. Do you want to come up here or you just do you?
I will come up there.
Okay.
Can
Come
y'all
on, come on in.
see online?
So you can come on in.
Yeah, I see you on the screen.
Okay, good.
Sweka, welcome.
No.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, I have a series that was encouraged to become a series by Miss Boye herself. She always told me it was her favorite part of Blinded Pirate, so I knew that she would not let this go without it. Dear ableism. Dear ableism. Everyone probably expected me to write this letter to Miss Boye, but it feels like she's about to show up in actual body, demanding to know why Dear Ableism isn't happening. So, ableism. Why? I know you and Death are close. You both like hang around the same places. So why is the show always the way it was supposed to be? But why? Why must I mishear words and good questions? And everything is exciting and interesting. Very interesting. Right now. And you are my friend. And so time and space don't matter. Pride is nothing to her. They're not acquainted. But pride, the rainbow kind, is everything. All of it. Everything. Even the irritating parts of our identities. She accepted everyone, even when we couldn't accept ourselves yet. Why, so many incredible teachers in my life do you continue to harass and drive to the realms? And for God's sake, why do you keep making me sad on birthday week? Why can't we get better health care? And death, why can't good neurodivergent girls live happy and healthy forever? But I'm stronger than you think. Because, despite of you, I can still eat Earl Grey and grilled cheese, and fried bread, and birthday cake. And I can still combat pre-show nerves. I can almost hear it. Can you? And up next, now that I'm sorted, Amy Witzinger with Dear Ableism.
Yeah.
Yes, the now that I'm sorted.
Yeah.
Would you like to go?
Amy, were you
I didn't know
referencing
her that well.
something?
That doesn't matter.
In
It's
that one?
okay.
Like a show or something?
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, like the Earl Grey and grilled cheese are friends that I used to memorialize during birthday week here. And she would remember that and remind me to drink tea beforehand every year.
Nice.
So yeah.
Thank you. I hope that series goes on
It
and
will
on.
continue.
Yeah.
Then in that way, her work is still being done. Y'all's
Yeah.
creative work. Do we have?
We have a guest here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Come on up, guest.
I feel a little out of place because I didn't really know her, but I did perform in 2019 with this group, and you guys were so nice to me, and I felt so good about it, and that's why I came. And I'm not the best at paying attention, so when I saw the notice, I thought, "Oh, cool, an open mic." But
You're
she
welcome.
yeah, Ms. Boyd sounds like an awesome person, like totally accepting of people, and that for me is so important to feel accepted and also to offer that to other people, no matter who they are. So the piece I wanted to read is actually about a friend of mine who I adore. I adore this friend of mine. And one day she got really mad at me. I think I was talking too much, which I do a lot. And she said, "I have autism." She said, and I was overstimulating her. And the longer I got to know her and the way I've gotten to know her and love her so much, I noticed myself in her. So I asked my psychiatrist, I said, am I neurodivergent? And she said, well, let's call you gifted. So it explains why people have always called me odd, different, among other things. And she sort of gave me an explanation of who I am. She helped me to know myself better, this person. So I hope it's okay for me to do this.
Absolutely.
And because I also want to honor your emotions and everything that you're dealing with today. And it really isn't just about me coming in and doing this. But so let me tell you about my friend, okay? When I first met her, I visited her in her apartment, and she had these bubbles that were plastic hanging from the ceiling over the dining room table. And on the wall in their dining room, she had a picture of a throat with diphtheria. And I practice medicine, so I looked at it and I said, "That's diphtheria, like in your dining room." "Oh yeah, I like this," he said. And she also fell in love with this pink refrigerator, right? And she bought it, and I tried to help her get it to her house. It wouldn't fit through the front door. So she bought it and ended up putting it in the dumpster. But she loved this pink refrigerator. So this gives you an idea of who my friend is, okay? And so the name of the piece is Bubbles and Diphtheria, and it's a prose piece, okay? The bubbles never popped, not those. They hung from the ceiling in linear columns over her dining room table. This girl had a way of making the impossible manifest as naturally as a yawn after a tired night. Her bubbles told a story that grabbed my attention. They diffused gently into the darkness of my heart, and that was her way. The experience was like no other. I wanted to believe that those bubbles paved the road back home. There was diphtheria on the dining room wall. I'm not kidding. Well, it was a picture of a throat infected with diphtheria, and that disease is a thing of the past thanks to vaccination. Apparently, diphtheria was alive and well in her apartment, and I looked at that picture and knew that I had found my way home. It made a statement that I understood so well, and I loved that statement. I loved her courageous resistance to the assembly line mentality that is the way most folks live their lives. From where I stand, normal has all the charm of a vacuum cleaner screeching with a clogged hairball. She turns she turned stickers from banana peels into an artistic imperative. And I couldn't help but get lost in the girl's erupting imagination. There was an intensity about her. Just when I found myself feeling into the moment, she slipped into a subtle explosion of blossoming fresh emotion. And how does one subtly explode? She did. She reminded me of heat lightning without thunder, spectacular but not overwhelmingly loud. And as I sat on the carpet in her living room, I could feel her energy rocking me like a California earthquake. They say that earthquakes are a part of living in that state, and if you don't like it, then move to another state. And I guess being shaken into pure present consciousness is a part of the experience of knowing this girl. And if you don't like it, find another girl. In any event, she wasn't like anyone else I had ever met, not even remotely. And once I told her that the other girls are like wall art you buy at TJ Maxx, but that she is like a Renoir. And I told her how I sat for an hour staring at the creamy oils of my favorite Renoir at the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. The experience of that painting changed my life. It made me want to be a better person, an authentic expression of my free spirit. And she did the same. Corny, I know, but nonetheless true. In this girl's eyes, there was a wake-up call that dragged me to the mirror to see myself again and again. At the end of the night, she told me that she was tired, and I knew it was time for me to leave. And I walked out to my car wondering how in God's name she found her way inside my walls. Why would I let her in? You would think I would know better. I came with a heart that was already broken. And to tell you the truth, lately, I feel like this broken heart is a part of my identity. And they should put it on my driver's license next to the requirement for corrective lenses. What corrective device do you need when driving with a broken heart? And I'm the girl who cries over a dusky red sunset, moved beyond words and not wanting to let the experience go. And I dream of bringing that crimson sky home with me, along with the Renoir hanging at the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. I have just the place for both. And I wanted to bring this girl home with me also. And I still do, metaphorically speaking. I want to hold the bubbles and the diphtheria, the banana stickers, her dreams and her worries. I want to experience them all. I want to play as if we were in the 4th grade on the playground at recess, to tell secrets, plan sleepovers, and wonder what it will be like to grow up. And I want to find a place on the couch beside her just to sit in her presence without tight schedules, tired eyes, and a clock that sends me packing. For chance to accept the moment and realize that it's just right. Sitting with this girl fills me up. In any event, if I were dreaming, the porch light would be glowing bright to remind me that I am welcome. I love that thought, and I promised I wouldn't leave her, but I'm pretty sure that she will leave my company one way or another, and that's okay. I want her to live in a world where pink refrigerators fit through the front door, and I want her to find her perfect place where bubbles and diphtheria blossom like a fresh bouquet of daisies, adored by a devoted audience, an audience as devoted as myself. When she finds her way there, I guess it will be okay with me, even if it takes her away from my company. No, I know it will be okay with me because I love her. Thank you. I love that a community like this exists, and I want to be more of a part of it. And so Ms. Boyd sounds like just was an awesome person. I probably met her when I came in 2019. But
Yeah.
What's your name? What's your name?
Oh, my name is Alicia Roth.
Alicia. Wonderful.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
Alicia. Yeah.
Thank you.
I
Thank
guess I
you.
should have said
And
that.
and
Thank
she
you for
would have
giving me-
loved
you.
your
She
poem.
would have
She would have loved
definitely.
it.
Oh,
Yeah, it was. Yeah. All right, Benny. Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I just want to echo Alicia, please come back. That was wonderful.
Yeah,
How do you subtly explode? Like, I just want to sit with that line.
yeah.
So good.
Well, and the how do you drive with a broken heart?
And like,
That's
I look in your eyes and see a mirror that like is calling me.
no, there were
Yeah.
so many of those.
It
so many.
was just
Yeah.
beautiful,
That
beautiful.
expressed everything I've been feeling all week. Like that.
Yeah, and Sally said that was written for Miss Boy in many
Yeah,
ways.
yeah,
Yeah.
Something that she was always saying about this space was like, whoever shows up is like who is supposed
Meant to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and yes, and here we are.
Well, I see something beautiful in everybody's face here, and particularly in the performance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. John, or we're gonna switch to Zoom real quick and then we'll come back to.
So, John, are you ready?
Or anyone else?
Okay, John. All right, I'll get you up there, boy. You're muted. So Laura will call you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. The beauty about when we went virtual is that all these people are phoning in from all over Texas. Joanne was in Florida.
Yeah, we had a bunch of folks in California.
Yeah. Birdman's in Houston. John's in, I don't know where John is right now. He might be in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he spends time between Chicago and Beaumont.
John, for what it's worth, your visuals are gorgeous. You gotta be grateful for what you can get.
So did he answer?
And then Boye is enjoying this too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sure. Talk as loud as you can. You're just on my phone speaker.
Okay, great. Yeah, listen, thank you for going to all this trouble to give me a while. I really wanted to be with everybody today. This feels so good. So thank you. It's good to see everybody and hear everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Great. All right. Dare I say this? I love that her round glasses sometimes made her look owlish. Because Miss Boye was filled with her own owlish wisdom and so to me, that fit perfectly. She was a tilted my wheelchair forward because you didn't know what was going to tumble out of that beak of her next, but you know it was going to be good. I marveled at her bottomless well of poetry. I marveled whenever I got to hear her recite it. But I'm sorry to say I only ever known her in 2 dimensions on my computer screen. I'm in East Texas right now, and for most of the year I live in Chicago. I joined Speaking Advocates as a lockdown kind of thing to do, and we spent more time together, she and I, during the first season of the podcast, and and over the years at the line hiring. But it was always remote. This was the year we're going to be. We're going to hang out. So you'd think someone with progressive illness like me would have a better respect for time. As the sands fill the hourglass, they're also burying more and more of my body. But at this instant, to tell you the truth, if I can pull one of my arms free, I take a fist not at fate, not at the doctors, but at myself. Because I think I'm having my Ebenezer Scrooge morning after a moment. Maybe Miss Boye's teaching me something still. I learned a lot from her about embracing others and about embracing myself. That my story's good enough to tell, so just let it spill. Just set a timer and write, dash, race to the end. She was always quick with a compliment and encouragement, and hearing her say time and again that I have a British sense of humor made me feel a kinship with her. I'm certain that she made everyone in this room feel just as special. Some people possess that rare gift, and others, like me, are just lucky to fall in with them. And further, I'm absolutely certain that there's an alternate universe where, about 35 years ago, she and I went clubbing together all the time. The days when I wore my long trench coat, and to impress her, I would smoke cigarettes, holding them between my thumb and 2 fingers underhanded, because I saw Gary Oldman do that instead of dancing, and because I was winning. And she and I would go dance in an underground club to an English beat show, and we sang along with the band. Can't get used to losing you, no matter what I'm trying to do. Gonna spend my whole life through loving you. She was one of a kind. I'm so blessed to know her. I love her. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, John. That was beautiful.
Everyone says thank you, John.
Well, thanks a lot, Laura. Thanks. I love being together for it.
Likewise. See you soon. Well, see you still, but talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Alrighty. Who's next?
Who said you wanted to come on up?
Thanks. Hey everybody, my name's Jeanette, and I love everything you're saying about Boye. I've known her since she came into my best friend's life. And what I want to say about Boye, the very best thing. Is somebody coming?
No, somebody
Okay.
might be coming in. Yeah. Sierra, I think your husband is here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I love everything you've shared about Boye, her creativity and her giving and her teaching and everything she offered to everybody. But here's the deal. The very, very, very best thing that Boye ever did in this whole life was to love Sally. She loved Sally.
She brought joy, she brought connection, she brought togetherness, she brought love, and everything you can imagine, as well as strife, differences of opinion. My way, the highway, okay?
Yeah.
That's Boy. But the joy that she brought to my friend is the greatest of all gifts that Boy could have ever brought to this world. And for that, I am so sincerely grateful. I've known Sally for about 39 years, so I know her life. And Boy was the best thing that ever happened to Sally Jo. Blessed. Blessed.
Anyone else on Zoom that wants to do a piece? Eric, I see your mic.
I could speak for a minute.
Yeah, you're turned on now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Wait a second there. I gotta make you big.
Okay.
Okay. There you go, dear.
Thanks. So I had the privilege of working with Miss Boye. I'm gonna sit. Let me talk to my iPad for a second. 20. So yeah, because I don't want to just look at myself. I want to look at all of you while I'm talking. So I had the privilege of working with Miss Boye. I used to run the Speaking Advocates program, and I was the open mic co-host here for several years before Miss Boye took it over. And my disability just made it really hard to keep up with those jobs, and so I had to back out. And when I found out that Miss Boye was going to take over those programs for me, I was just absolutely thrilled. I had seen Miss Boye in Tilt, and I knew of her, and I realized that having her in charge of those programs was just going to elevate those programs so much with her energy and her passion and her perspective. And really, it's her. I mean, there's so many things that we're all going to miss about Miss Boye that lots of people have touched on this evening. But I think one of the thing that I might miss the most is her perspective, which I think is so important. And I'm not very good at grieving. I kind of, for the last 2 weeks, I've just been in kind of shock and denial as far as Miss Boye's passing. And today it finally really struck me before the open mic. And that I think one of the things that I feel like we are going to miss is her perspective and all these different organizations where she was able to represent people who are from the neurodiverse community. And she often would I remember in Arts Park meetings, she would have such an insightful perspective about things that where we really needed that perspective to know what the right course of action was. And I think, and my wife Nicole knew her from when Nicole was a board member with Tilt, and she said, every time Boye said something, it was so insightful. She said sometimes people would be echoing or repeating other people's points, but with Miss Boye, it was always a fresh, insight that no one else had brought up, and that was just so important. And gosh, I think about the last few years, we lost Susie, we lost Jean, and now we lost Miss Boye. And our community needs these people so desperately. And gosh, I'm just going to miss her so much. I don't have anything sort of written for today. I really have had a hard time putting any kind of words to how I feel about this loss, to how I feel about Miss Boye. I mean, she was just just a fabulous human being. I loved being around her. We had many laughs. We had great discussions about disability and about the disability experience. And I mean, I wish that I could, be giving her another hug. I really wish that I could have been there to say goodbye. Anyway, I guess I'm just saying I don't have a lot to say today, but I do have one poem memorized. It's my favorite poem. And it's one way that I kind of will be coping with the loss of Miss Boye and other hardships in life. This is called I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Constant as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stood in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves with glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. And I think that Miss Boye is out there somewhere dancing with the daffodils and whatever other celestial flowers she finds in the spirit world. And, I'll always have these lovely memories of her when I'm struggling with her loss. So I want to just send my love to everyone there, to everyone on the call. I want to send my love especially to Sally. I can't imagine what you're dealing with, but this whole community is here to surround you with love. And I also want to thank Celia and Laura and everyone who's been there for Miss Boye, as she transitioned out of this existence. I love you all so much, and don't be a stranger. So thank you all.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks, Eric.
7.
Okay. Here's Eric.
That was. I feel like some people they're like, I don't know what to say, and then they say exactly the right thing.
Yes.
I didn't prepare anything, but let me say this extemporaneously.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
That was William Wordsworth, by the way. I guess I should have said that.
I thought it was somebody.
Oh, you didn't write
Just
that?
no, just stealing old famous poets and no. 7.
So, Sueka, we're just asking people to speak if they'd like to. So, if you came with something you wanted to say, feel free.
And we've also got, I know Benny is going to do something.
Okay.
Are you ready to go?
You put on the doc.
Okay.
I can just speak from the heart, but I'm gonna find the poem that is going like the most.
And Linda and Dennis, if you would like to say anything, or Roland, or Sheena, or April, or Silva. I'm not putting anybody on the spot, because you notice I didn't say my name.
Are you ready? Okay.
So I met Miss Boye first at production of Pan at Ground Floor Theater. When we went there with Greenleaf, a group
us. There for a performance. It made an impact on me so much that I wrote a song inspired by Pete. And the first time I was here at the open mic. And the thing about Miss Boye I remember most is that she always had good humor even in the face of challenges and technical issues and all that stuff. And always had something kind and funny to say. So I wrote a pastiche, which is like a parody, but a little bit more reverent of the traditional Irish song, Danny Boy. I'm going to sing it now. It's called Funny Boy. Oh, funny boy, the pipes are calling from the ground floor and radio worldwide. The summer's gone and all the roses falling. It's you, must go and we must bide. But come ye back when summer's not so sweltering, or when the power grid won't fail from a little snow. We'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, funny boy, oh dear Miss Boye, we love you so.
Awesome.
Jenny, I hope that you will take up the mantle of Ms. Boye's fashion sense and carry that forward. In addition to just continuing to be a wonderful, insightful poet and musician. We both just love your work so much.
I feel like that needs to be performed at every Lighted Pirate now.
Yes.
Yeah, let's start it. Let's start that tradition. Well, I think most of the rest of the folks who have something prepared are in the room, but I just want to check in on Zoom. Is there anybody else? Just give a wave. Okay, seeing none, I'll check in again. Whoever's ready.
My name is Linda Frost. I did not know Miss Boye nearly long enough. I remember I knew her through Tilt Performance Group, as a number of you have as well. And I remember I wasn't there, she showed up in an audition, and next thing I knew, there was this radiant, powerful presence on the stage that brought joy to us, but also brought hard-hitting messages and changed our conceptions of what could be, and just touched audiences in a way that was really remarkable. And she also served as a teacher and a mentor to so many in the acting group, that her generosity of spirit in supporting people, as we've heard today, helping people get in touch with their own inner talent and making the group into what it became over the course of 10 remarkable years. You know, when the pandemic happened, how do you keep a theater group going during a pandemic? But in many ways it thrived because of the role she played in connecting people online. We all learned to do this in part through her. And she just is a remarkable spirit that I guess I assumed would always be there, but I'm also realizing that in many ways for us, she is always there because our lives are different for having known her. So I'm sad to not see her on a regular basis, but I think she does still live with me. Yes.
I'm Dennis Burrell, and so Lynn and I do live together.
So this is a true story last night. We spent a quiet evening at home, watched a really bad Christmas movie. This boy probably would have found it pretty annoying. But as we were watching, closing down for the evening, I went to take my own iPad and charge it. And you know how your iPad or even your phone will do this, where it'll pick some random photo out of your memory and toss it up on your screen. Well, as I was plugging it, I looked at it and I said, Linda, you got to see this. And it was a photo from 2018. It was after a Tilt performance. And it was me and Ms. Boye and Quinn, one of the other actors. And Adam, right? Adam.
Oh, yeah, Adam. Yeah, that's right.
Folks,
Yeah.
and it was a great picture because we're all really happy. We just really had a great evening of entertainment. And I never really got to know Ms. Boye as well as I would like. But see, my role in the disability community was to like be an advocate and change public policy and all that. And I know that Laura and Amy, Celia knows this, and a lot of folks online, is that the organization I've directed, this Coalition of Texans with Disabilities, we also did arts. Now, why would an advocacy program get involved in arts? Because disability arts is disability advocacy. And I think Ms. Boye really delivered in that role too. I wish I could have had an opportunity. I would have loved to find out her journey to end up here in Austin, Texas with this group from maybe childhood. Would have been a fascinating one to hear.
Well, there is a eulogy that she has written, her sister has written, that is absolutely the first part of her life. We could definitely make sure you got that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Thank you so much.
And we'll send the photo to Celia.
Okay, great, great. Thank you.
If you would like it to be. Alright, who's gonna come up next?
I'll go over to the front.
My name is not nice for the disabilities, you know? Feel free to sit. I'll be free to, no, that'll be great. I'll do that.
The bones like to act up in the rain.
Don't they ever?
So, I actually got in, when I first got into poetry, I did a lot of art. I still do a lot of art, but, you know, I was very weary about my voice. Not literally, but what I had to say. And it was spaces like Art Sparks and definitely Ms. Boye that reminded me that my voice was important. I always had trouble writing about my disability and my neurodivergency because I always felt like people didn't want to hear that, that people didn't want to know about that. And it was always Ms. Boye that loved those pieces the most. And I was trying to remember all the ones that they would give me praise on, which is difficult to pick from because they always give me praise on a lot of them. And I think a lot of people also talk about like elders in a cultural aspect and in the queer aspect, but I think a lot of people don't talk about and in mentorship and how Ms. Boye was a mentor and like looking up to them as someone who was the poet I wanted to be and the poet that I could be and be honest regardless of what people's thoughts were about the way I experienced my disability and my neurodivergence, and that it was okay to talk about it.
Yes.
And Ms. Boye was a big part of me being able to do that. So I thank them for that. And I want to read a poem that every time I read this, it was originally written, and it'll say there, But when I think about the people that embody this and have helped me, how do you say? Sorry, I speak other languages and my brain's stuck. I feel in Spanish, so I'm trying to translate as I feel. Ms. Boye is always one of the people that comes to mind when I think of the people that have helped me feel comfortable in spaces. So this one's called Imposter. I have a great relationship with my tutu, my curandera, my healer, which also serve as mentors. And one time when I went to visit, I shared with them that I felt like I was not welcome in certain circles, that my ideologies and cultural upbringings and identities made me feel othered, and that I was too soft or gentle for these fast-paced spaces. And the way that they held my soul, reminding me that any space I walk into automatically becomes a two-spirit space, a queer space, an indigenous space, a disabled space, a neurodivergent space, a multilingual space, a fat space, simply because I exist in it. That if I'm looked at as othered, that just means I am different, not weird or wrong, reminding me that here I am, a breath of fresh air, a trickle flow from the ebb in the river, the sparks that break free from the dancing flame, the flowers that grow fresh in spring after a long, chilly winter, and taking these ideas with me, reminding me that I am enough, and I hope you are too. So that piece, even though I originally wrote it with this experience in mind, when I think about this piece ongoing again and the spaces that I've been in, Miss Boyd has been one of the forefronts that have made me feel welcome and to be able to share my experiences authentically. Thank you. And thank you for sharing Miss Boyd with us. Without them, I wouldn't be here. So thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having Miss Boyd. It's a good way to honor her.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll just,
Just take a breath. Yep, you do it. There's no time limit on this, by the way, everyone.
Yes, I'm gonna put a long time. Breathe. So I can probably claim to be the person who's known Boy the longest. I've known her since I was 1 minute old, I suppose. So I guess I can say that. So I'm Tracy, Boy's younger sister. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to say, as Sally said, I did, for the event we had the other day, I sat last week and I thought, I probably have to do this so soon, but I wrote and thought back to our lives as children. I can't get there now. Yeah, so most of our recent time, we haven't lived in the same country for over 30 odd years, but the 80s were the years I kind of all my memories came back up, and I surprised myself how many amazing things I remembered we did. We had a ruling in the UK in the mid 80s called Section 28, which they brought into law, which basically stopped promotion of homosexuality, and especially in schools. So Boy was very much involved
with the campaigning to appeal that law and stop it, and did that in a theatre production. She was an advocate in the Lesbian and Gay Centre that was in London at the time, which was beginning to be the only safe space for young people in London with this law about. So it just kind of, I forgot in a way how much she did in that world back in the 80s. So the other thing I wanted to say was one of the songs that I played in her last moments was Danny Boy. It was our father was Irish. He was born in Southern Ireland, and we grew up with Irish music as kids a lot, and we danced to Irish dancing badly, but we tried our best. And so that was very poignant that you did that. It was amazing. Thank you for that. So as I said, that I was recorded with the eulogy. It went on for like 16, 17 minutes. So we haven't got time for that, but we'll share the recording as well, so you can see that. But I just think our mum is still with us. She's in London. She'll be 90 next year. So it was too much for her to get out of here. I luckily arrived Thursday evening, so I was at her bedside. I've been on FaceTime every day to Mum and my wife at home, Marita. And I can tell you that the strength that we've got from all the love that we've been given and I've been experienced since I was here last Thursday has just made this very, difficult time so much better. So thank you all, and I hope to stay in touch a lot more than I was around in the recent years, but it's just been so uplifting. It's been a great journey for me to look back on how much influence she was on me as a big rebel sister. And there's lots of things that you guys say that she was to you. She was doing that when she was 16, so, and even younger. So here's staying a rebel. Thank you all.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say that because we wanted to end on a lighter note. I was going to the pet store the other day, and I had my arms full. I got back to the car, and I could not find my keys. And those of you who know me know that's nothing new. Yeah. I dumped my bag out in the parking lot. I looked in every pocket. My keys were nowhere. I was peering in the car. They weren't in the car because I was kind of sad when I went in. So, I thought, oh, maybe I left them there. No, I went back in. I looked in every pocket, So I finally had my bags down in the parking lot. And I walked in, but before I was going to go in, and I went in and asked, did anybody turn in a set of keys? Because I thought, well, maybe I set them down when I was looking for something. No, nobody found any keys. So I went back outside, and I was standing in the parking lot, and I said, boy, this is not funny. And I put my hand in my purse, and there were my keys.
And there were your keys.
So she's still with us.
Yes.
Yes, she is. I went, am I on?
Yes, you are.
I went Christmas shopping.
We're losing you.
I'm sorry. I went Christmas shopping. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to keep it together. I went Christmas shopping with a friend the other day, and I kid you not, I've never seen rubber duckies. I thought
Oh.
true.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Rubber duckies.
Boy,
Collection of
one nano and one boy.
No, she had a shirt with rubber duckies on.
She also
Yes,
collection, believe me.
Yes.
We have some wonderful photos of her in that rubber ducky shirt.
I bought them. And I've decided that from now on, when I need courage, I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna boy it, you know. So
Boy it?
I'm just gonna boy it.
That's
So
good.
so I'm a weirdo and I have a tendency to talk a lot, but I've been talking to her a lot. So yeah.
That's awesome.
But I never see rubber duckies, and I'm seeing them I'm seeing them everywhere now. So I'm probably going to have a whole collection of rubber duckies. That's my point. I'm sorry.
Sally can send you.
Think that through.
We can rubber ducky. Okay, I'm fine.
So we had a Irish wake, which is something that Boy actually asked to have.
Yeah.
So I brought boys bow ties to it, and everybody put her bow ties on, and so it was adorable. Like everybody, didn't matter who you were, they put the bow ties on, and so yeah, I wasn't willing to share the ties.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great way of celebrating how delicious she was.
Yes.
Yeah, deliciously weird.
Yeah.
She said something deliciously weird, and I will remember that for the rest of my life. I also asked her if she could marry me. And she said, "Sure, I'll marry you." And I said, "Well, I have to find somebody first, but I'll tell you, if there were more people like her in this world, more ministers like her, there'd be more people who believed in something greater than themselves. Yes. Every minister needs to be like her. Everyone. Yep. So that's my spiel. I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me blab.
She would tell you to not be sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's very much.
I got something to say.
All right,
Right,
Juan.
good.
All right.
Good.
I was wondering when you'd speak up. Wait a second. Let me find you here. I guess I could leave you, but I think it's nice to see the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you
There
go,
you are.
Juan.
My fondest memory at my wife's funeral is as long as the end of it. Is as long as the end of my wife's funeral, and that was so beautiful. And another one is the podcast you did on me
Yes. Yes.
was wonderful, was real wonderful.
Yes. I agree with you. It was awesome.
That was her last podcast.
Yes.
That was wonderful. I played Granite the other day and I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I'm picturing Susie and Boy listening to us together.
Yeah, still dancing and singing together.
Yep.
Always
Always.
looking down on us.
Yep. Thank you, Juan.
Thanks.
Thank you, Juan.
Juan came in from California.
Woo.
So
Yeah.
California dreaming, home on.
Yeah.
But just to bring things to a formal close, I just have nothing but gratitude and love for you all in this space, and everything that Miss Boye put into this space and the many other spaces that she built and sustained. It's all still going, it's all still here, it's all still in this world, it's all still with us. And I will close on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and I don't know, like, what's gonna happen with the Lion and Pirate? We're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
It might look a little different.
We'll find a co-host. Yeah, it'll be the Lion and Pirate. Laura and I will talk. We'll find a co-host.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
But yeah, we'll keep everyone posted.
Yeah.
We'll keep doing the virtual thing, so hopefully folks can join us from near and far.
This one was scheduled as the universe had planned. This in-person one was already scheduled. And so we're happy to be able to bring in our virtual friends, and so we'll figure it out. The plan was 2 virtual, 1 in person, for the foreseeable future. So we'll probably still do that. Absolutely. I mean, I think that Ms. Boye would visit me in my parking lot and not give me my keys back if I canceled it. All right. Well, thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.